Howdy, everybody. I'm Associate Pastor Matt Sprankle from Church in the Valley, and if you're getting this video, it's because you're going to the Chaos to Clarity Conference this weekend in Orange County. This conference is a great opportunity to grow, lots of great things. You're going to learn all sorts of things that you need to learn, but here's the thing, it's also going to feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. And when you have an experience, when you go to a conference and people are teaching and there's all this great stuff and you're writing stuff down, it can just be overwhelming. So the question is, how do you make sure that you're getting the most out of this conference? The answer is, you need to prepare and plan ahead, and you need to pray. If you plan ahead and prepare, if you pray ahead of time, you can be confident in faith that God will take this conference and use it to build you up in your faith. And that's why I'd like you to take just a few moments to do a brief survey. This survey's got 3 questions. If you answer these 3 questions and you spend a little time at prayer at the end, I know it's going to help you get ready to learn all the things that God wants you to learn through this conference. So do the survey, click on it, whether you're a parent or a student or a leader. This will help you get ahead and plan ahead so that when you go into this conference, you're ready to receive, ready to learn, ready to grow in all the ways that God wants you to grow. I also have a couple tips. Some tips I'd like you to keep in mind. If you're a parent, something you can do to help your students. If you're a leader, something you can do to help the students really get the most is model for them. Model teachability. Share with them the things that you're learning. Share with them the questions that you have going in. Things that you want to know more about. Things that you want to be able to explain better. Things that are not quite clear to you, as clear as you'd like. Model teachability. If you're a student, be a good example to your peers that you don't know everything, right? That you don't know all this stuff already, but there are things that you're learning, and share those things with others. As we're all learning together, this learning community, as we're all practicing humility and teachability, God will honor that, and He will open our minds to understand and see things that He will not do if we're proud and puffed up. Finally, there are 2 things I'd like you to avoid saying the entire weekend, and 2 things I think you should do to really turn up the teaching for yourself. The first thing to avoid saying is, I've already heard all this before. I already know all this stuff. That's just arrogance. Knowledge puffs up. But instead, what you should be saying is, here's something that I want to be better at explaining. Here's something that I learned at a deeper level. Here's something that really piqued my interest today. Number 2, avoid saying, oh, I'm so tired. Because you're going to be tired. You're going to have lunch, and the carbs are going to hit you, and you're going to start to feel like this. So if you're tired, just stand up, move around. But that's between you and God. Don't share that with everybody around you, because it's just going to make them feel tired, and that begins to turn down our receptivity. If you want to make sure that when this conference is over with, and you got a binder, and it's got all this cool information in it, if you want to make sure that it actually gets into you, there are 2 things you should do. Number 1, write in the margins. Write down questions, write down highlight items, things that you really thought, well, that was really interesting. I've never heard that before. Imagine that you're interacting with the speaker. When they say something, when they use a word that you don't understand, write down a question in the margin. If you want to go deeper, if you want to understand something more, if there's a great illustration, copy it down on the back side of the page. Really interact with the speaker by writing in your notebook. And the second thing you can do, the last thing I want to say, is when it's all said and done, you want to go back through the binder, back through all the notes that you got and took, and you want to identify 3 things that you learned that you never want to forget. If you do that, if you identify these 3 things, if you write them out, and if you share them with someone else, God will make sure that they get deeper into your heart so that they can work themselves out in your life. This is how you're going to make the most of the Chaos to Clarity Conference. I'm really excited for you. I think it's a great opportunity. I'm glad we get to do this together. So I will see you guys on Friday, and I really want to encourage you again, take the survey, pray and ask God to open up your mind and heart, and for all of us. And I'll see you guys soon.